Alrighty, welcome back to the Dividend Hero channel, fam. We are here to see how much money we can make this week. One thing before we go ahead and get started, just note that investing involves significant risk, and the information provided in this channel is for educational purposes only. It is not financial, legal, tax, or any other kind of advice. Actual results may and will vary. It is crucial to conduct your own thorough due diligence before making any investment decisions. Alright, with that, let's get started. Alright, as you can see here, we were actually assigned on two of the trades that we placed last week. We bought 200 shares of Apple at $260 limit price, and we bought 100 shares of AMD at $212.50 at the limit price. We're going to go ahead and sell covered calls now and turn around this week at both of these strike prices and see if we can get some premium as well as get rid of them later this week. Snap was in a different account, so you didn't see Snap. It's not the account that I'm trading for the challenge, for the $1 million challenge. But as we go on, we're going to go ahead and see other things come into this particular portfolio. The big thing here is all of the other puts that we sold. AVGO expired, Iron expired, Robinhood call expired, Celestica, which we made about $800 on last week, which was phenomenal, that expired. The other stuff that earlier from previous weeks have expired as well. So again, we are not afraid of getting assigned on these two positions. We're happy to own these companies, high conviction. We're just going to go ahead and turn around and sell covered calls on them instead now. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see what's going on in the market. First thing we have is Apple. We were assigned at 260. It is trending downwards today. Ideally, we can catch it on an uptrend and sell a covered call only on green days. You typically don't want to sell covered calls on red days, just because you get a little bit more premium when it's going up. So we may hold off on this for selling this for now. It's 9:48 right now, so on Monday, so we might hold off on selling this covered call just right now. But even if I sold it at 260, I think we'd still get a pretty good premium, even though it's further down today. The other thing was AMD. AMD's up today, so we're definitely going to sell that covered call right at our strike price of $212.50 and go ahead and see if we can get that money back. Other than that, we can sell some cash secured puts. There's a few options here. Essentially, a couple of other things that we've picked up. So Arista Networks is another AI play, the backbone infrastructure. Google is another play that we can hear. We always like Google. Again, high conviction companies only. CrowdStrike, we can see what the premium is. It's going to require a lot more capital, but maybe sell one contract of this. Ultimately, Meta is trending downwards. That might be another high volume play as far as getting captured high premium. Alright, first things first, let's go ahead and sell that AMD covered call since it's tracking up right now. Let's go ahead and capture that upward momentum and see if we can't capture some decent premium. So again, we were assigned at $212.50 last week. We can go ahead and sell this at $2.41 a share for covered call prices. We're going to go sell to open, quantity call, it's January 16th expiration. Again, it's already tracking up even higher than we noticed, so let's go ahead and put in the midpoint price has gone up. So we're going to sell it at $2.48 a share. We only have one contract of this, so quantity will be 1. Let's go ahead and preview that order. Awesome. And let's go ahead and place that order. Awesome. So let's go back to our spreadsheet and see how that would have affected our overall position. Alrighty, so here we have basically an AMD share price. We got captured $248 worth of premium. But let's do some management of our spreadsheet. So this CLS put that we sold had expired, so we can go ahead and mark this as done. Same thing for AVGO, it expired, so we're going to go ahead and mark this as done. And pretty much collected that premium, which is awesome. Apple, we were assigned. We were still going to mark it done, but we were assigned on this. So let's go ahead and say we were assigned. So we're tracking our cost basis, which is 260. AMD, we were also assigned on this one. So we're going to go ahead and indicate that that was going to be something that we're going to have to track and sell like we just did. Iron also expired, worthless. So we were able to capture some good premium. Awesome. HIMs, calls are still going on, so we're not going to mark these done. They're going to expire on the 6th, but we're going to worry about that later. So right now we are going to sell a call on this. We're going to initiate today's date, which is the 12th, and this is going to expire this Friday, so that's going to be the 17th, or excuse me, the 16th. We're going to do our quick calculation math. It's one contract only. The strike is going to be that same strike that we did here. We can put our cost basis in since it's a covered call. The cost basis for these were actually 51.5, so just track that if we need to. And collateral, so we spent $21,000 and 250 cents of collateral, got a premium, and basically we're making 1.17% this week on AMD. So we're going to see how that goes. The next one would be Apple. If it were trending up, we would sell those two contracts that we have at our cost basis of $260. But we're going to wait to fill that information out for the rest of it. Sorry, not $260. And we're going to wait to see what our final metric is. For week 12, we can start calculating what this is going to be for premium. We're going to do some pretty simple stuff, and we're going to go down here and capture all of these. Alright, before we do that, let's go ahead and sell some Apple calls real quick. We noticed that it's actually not trending too far down from the 260 strike price. Usually you wait for an update to do this, but just to get that weekly income in and also just get that call assigned, I think we can get some good premium. So let's go ahead and see what the 260 strike price is, and we can get about $217. So let's go ahead and do that. Awesome. Here we have Apple. We're going to sell this time. We have two contracts of 100 shares each for Apple with the January 16th expiration date. We're going to sell two calls. The limit price is going to be $223, so it's going up a little bit, so that's good. We are looking to collect a total of $444.70, so that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and preview that order. It looks like the limit price we entered to sell is below the bid price, so let's go ahead and edit this. And let's go and go. Oh, so it's going up. That's awesome. So now we're looking at 458. Let's go ahead and sell this quickly. It looks like it's going up. We probably could have waited and gotten even more premium, but again, I'm just doing this for the purposes of this particular video. So we got this order in. It looks like we're looking good. 231, and it's already been filled. We can see up here that it's been filled at 232 times 2, so that's 464. And let's go ahead and put that in our spreadsheet. Alright, here we are on our spreadsheet. Same thing as before. 112, 116. We're going to go ahead and pull down our calculator for days expiry. And then we're going to go ahead down and pull down our collateral calculator. Next, our premium was 464, and our total percentage is 1.78%. Again, this is for the week. This is 80% for the year. Not going to complain about that whatsoever. So let's go ahead and now sell those cash secured puts. Alright, so here we see Visa trending downwards today. It's having a pull. And we can see that for the week of January 16th, we can see that the expected move is probably close to 332. So we can sell a cash secured put at a lower price than that. So let's go to Visa here. Let's go to the 332 strike, and we see we can sell it at somewhere around 130, 145-ish, in between there. We can even go below that for one, but I think at 332, since it's down today so much, I think we can get away with at least a decent strike price down here. So let's go ahead and all right, now we have Visa's ticket open. It's down almost 3% today. Let's go ahead and sell that cash secured put. So we're going to sell two of these, and we're going to sell January expiration. Limit price is going to be at 142. Sell to open. We're going to get $282 from this. Let's go ahead and sell this. Let's go ahead and update our spreadsheet. Alright, we went ahead and sold Visa puts. Again, 112. We have a strike price of 332.50. Oh, sorry, that's my cost basis. I don't have any cost basis because I haven't been assigned yet. So we have 2 contracts of this at 332.50, and we got a premium of $284. Awesome. Again, I'm happy with 0.5%. I'm happy with 1%. 1.78 is over the moon. This is pretty average for a great stock like Visa. Again, like I said, we all use credit cards. It pays a dividend. It's always going to grow, honestly. So I'm not worried about Visa one bit. So we're going to exit this. If we get assigned, again, we're just going to sell covered calls at this on the stock, and in the long term, it's going to be in the right spot. Right now, we are currently looking at another almost $1,000 of profit again. We're looking at almost $1,400 for the profit of the month of January, minus the January interest. So this is inclusive of that. So we have a net profit of $1,453 just through the first 12 days of January. We're going to keep going. Let's go. All right, I forgot to mention that our hood expired. Our hood calls, you may have noticed, on Friday. So we have about 200 shares of hood that we can spread covered calls on. Our cost basis that we were assigned at were 131 and 133 respectively. So I like to split that difference just in case, you know, it gets a little bit closer to the current strike price of 116. So I want to make sure that I'm selling somewhere closer to that. Right now we're getting about, I want to say $12 for a 132 strike. It's not the greatest premium. I think we can go a little bit lower, maybe perhaps to 130 is not that high, maybe 129. I think it would be a good number to sell it. I usually don't like selling below the cost basis, but at the same time, hood's been kind of trending downwards for the past few days. So unless it pops this week, I think that we're pretty much good to go, that the status quo is going to be maintained for hood. It's going to be kind of oscillating between 115 and 120, if not maybe go further down. There's a lot of bullish sentiment on hood and saying how good of a value services that they provide and the integration that they have with predictive markets and other things that they're doing, but ultimately the stock isn't actually reflecting that momentum. So what we can do right now is kind of play the safe route, get a little bit of premium, and continue to dollar cost average. All right, we have a 2 quantity hood ticket set up here. It's up 1.24% today, so that's a good idea to sell at this particular level. We have a call expiration of this Friday. Strike is 129. Again, lower than our cost basis of 132, but again, it's at 116, so we're just trying to capture a little bit of premium and hoping that it doesn't go above that. We would take a hit if it did, if it was assigned at 129, but we'd be out of the position. And we've been dollar cost averaging already, so it's fine. If we did take a little bit of a hit, it wouldn't be exactly at 132, it'd probably be closer to 130. So we can do that now that it's kind of trending lower. Hopefully it trends higher over the next couple of weeks, and we can keep selling covered calls on this. So let's go ahead and put this into place, and let's go ahead and place this order. Awesome. So we got an order placed, and we can go ahead and get into that cash secured put that we were talking about. Alright, here we have Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. As you can see, it's currently down. It's trending down a little bit. We have funds in this portfolio to sell at least 2 contracts of this. They're expected to have earnings. We're going to sell our put before the earnings come up because we don't actually want to carry them past earnings. So we're just going to sell 2 puts on Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. Again, high conviction stock. We like this a lot on this channel just because of the fact that they are a fantastic company, and they are the sole chip bottleneck as far as the chip makers go for GPUs and the AI play. So let's look up the expected move for TSM. We can see here that the lower price is 309. So let's go ahead and go back to our chart. We can find 309 here, 310 and 307.50. So I'd be happy to sell somewhere in between these two. Honestly, where it's trading now, I actually wouldn't mind selling it at the 310. I think that 25 delta is pretty safe, and we get about 325 per share, 320 per share. So let's go ahead and. Alright, we have our ticket set up here for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing at 322. Again, it's trending downwards. We're going to set a put at the 310 strike. Ultimately, we have no worry about getting assigned on this. Again, high conviction stock. It's extremely integral to the AI play. We're going to pretty much do this all day, every day. So we're going to collect 325. As you can see in the bottom right corner, we would have 648 net or 650 total. So let's go ahead and preview this, and let's place that order. Awesome. And let's see how that does. If it gets filled, we pretty much are looking at a great profit. All right, we're filling out our spreadsheet here just to capture and track how much money we made this week. TSAM, we sold 2 contracts with a 4 DTE. Each strike price was at 310. That's $62,000, pretty much at the extent of our budget. We got about $650 in premium, which is pretty phenomenal for a cash secured put, and that's 2% for the week. I mean, I'm over the moon about that, so that's fantastic. All right, guys, quick update. Unfortunately, the TSM didn't actually go through. The price started recovering a little bit and wasn't able to get at the strike price that you just saw. So I ended up having to sell a Meta cash secured put at a 637 strike. This was $369 or $370 plus fees. It's half of what TSAM was going to give us, but again, it's something that we can easily overcome. So let's take a look at what that looks like on our spreadsheet. Again, because we are doing 4 DTE, the longer I would have waited to see if TSAM came back to that strike price, the decay would have gotten that premium to be even lower. So it's probably better to find another stock that we have high conviction in to then sell that cash secured put, just to generate that income for the week. And then if we have to turn around, we can sell covered strikes on it. As you saw with the announcement by the administration, we lost a little bit of Visa today, took a beating. Of course, as soon as we get into it for the first time, Visa took a beating. That's not great, but ultimately we did get $332 of premium, $284 of premium. We're going to sell it if we get assigned at the strike price of $332.50. If the administration does enact the 10% cap on credit card fees, I do think that that's probably, well, let's not speculate. Let's see what happens, and just in case it goes back up, we can just continue selling covered calls on this. Awesome. All right, guys, have a great week. If you like the channel, please hit the like button. And if you like the content, if you find it helpful, please hit the like button so other people can find it as well. If you want to track our journey to the road to 1 million, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I try and post every Tuesday as my job allows, and it's kind of my hobby. I'm kind of trying to go to at least 1,000 subscribers. Thanks, guys. Bye.